Hi, Léon Bruno, Agence France Presse. Thank you for doing this, Mr. Secretary. You mentioned it in your opening speech, of course, and yesterday also you said that it was urgent or concrete measures needed to be taken to ease the fate of Palestinians, civilians. What assurances did the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu give you this morning in your talks? And also on the issue of humanitarian pauses that you say you have discussed, and I understand that you said you don't know where, how, and when, but could you give us a little bit more details on what you mean by that exactly? I mean, is it a stop bombings or what have you? Could you give us some details on that? And then last question very quickly. There was a strike yesterday on AFP's office in Gaza, where we have a continued live feed since the beginning of the conflict. Apparently a missile strike, there's serious damage to our office there. I'd like your thoughts on that, please.
Great, Leon, thank you very much. A few things in response. First, when it comes overall to humanitarian assistance, the Israeli government is committed to providing that assistance, or enabling that assistance, more accurately, to get to people in Gaza. And as I said, just over the last 2 weeks, we've gone from nothing getting in through the Rafah Gate to now, I think just today, over 100 trucks. And as I said, that's significant progress in the space of a couple of weeks, but it's also insufficient. And there's a recognition not only by us of that fact, but also by the Israeli government, as well as our Egyptian partners, as well as the United Nations. So we are looking at very concrete, practical ways to widen the aperture, to significantly increase the assistance that's getting in, the food, the medicine, the water, fuel, other critical needs for people who, through no fault of their own, are in desperate need. And we had a good conversation about that today. Again, Ambassador Satterfield, who's here, is working on this every single day. But I'm confident, based on the conversations we had, that you'll see a further increase in the assistance that's getting in to people who need it. With regard to humanitarian pauses, again, we see this as a way of further facilitating the ability to get assistance in, to make sure that the resources are in place as well to absorb the assistance coming in, to make sure that it gets to the people who need it. We see it as a way also, and very importantly, of creating a better environment in which hostages can be released. And this is a very important piece. So, as I mentioned already, and I won't repeat it, there are a number of very important practical questions that go along with this that we've agreed to discuss and work on. We've agreed that our teams will continue to talk about this in the days ahead. And from our perspective, this can be a critical way to advance many of the interests that I discussed earlier. I haven't seen the details about the strike, Leon, that you alluded to that hit the AFP office in Gaza. And let me just say and say again that as we stand strongly for Israel's right and obligation to defend itself, we also believe that it's vitally important how Israel does this, including with the highest regard for the protection of civilians, and that, of course, includes journalists who are doing extraordinary work under the most dangerous conditions to tell this story to the world, something that we deeply admire, deeply respect, and we want to make sure that they're protected.
The next question